Hey everybody, welcome back for another memory keeping plan with me. This time it's for the week of October 23rd through the 29th. This was a last minute change to my lineup. If you watched my lineup, you saw a totally different kit for this week. I'm just going to save it for next week. You probably heard me talk last time about how this was one of the worst weeks of my life. This week was one of the weirdest weeks of my life. Don't worry, I will explain. So that called for a last minute change of kit. So this is a mini kit from Cinderella Paper that I got as a freebie. I still have this double box seam left because it's the same as this tall box, so I wasn't going to use it twice. I think this is called Witchcraft. This page is empty. I can get rid of that. And I just decided to switch it up to something more spooky for Halloween. And also this kit has a cat in here, and I took my cat on an airplane, my kitten, on an airplane for the first time this week. Again, I will explain more later. So I have two extenders this week because there was a lot going on. This one I did like with an extra full box on it because I didn't need that much space. And then this one I used one of the Scribble Prints Co. Bougied silver patterned extenders because I needed a lot more space on this day. This was the day in Colorado. So yeah, I'm gonna pull in obviously pieces from the kit. These date numbers are not from the kit, they are leftovers from a different kit. I'm also gonna pull in leftovers from some similarly color themed kits because I don't have enough in this mini kit to last the whole week. And then you'll see over here in the corner, I've got these kitty notes from Oh Hey Cat Buns. You're gonna see a few of these labels get pulled in as well. So, I'm gonna move my coffee around. Let's go ahead and jump into the week. The sidebar is pretty simple, especially because we got this tall box. This is my dinner's sidebar, and then I'll write something in. I have a few different notes to myself for this sidebar. Sorry if there's background noise. Hopefully I can edit it out. It is the day after Thanksgiving, and people are vacuuming very loudly. I think they're vacuuming their garage. I don't know. All right, so if you watched the plan with me before this one, you know that we took our kitten to the vet, to the emergency hospital, and got some pretty bad news. And this week we were able to come to a solution, but the first few days of this week were very stressful because we had this bad news, but we didn't know what we could really do about it. I also want to note here, I feel like this witchcraft kit with all the potions and everything and the witchiness is appropriate because like I was talking with my husband and I'm like, I feel like all the vets we've talked to are like good witches. Like they've got their potions, they've got their experiments they're doing to help people, and there's some good witches, okay? But before we get into that, obviously life was still going on around us this week. Sorry. For some reason, I keep losing my voice this week. It's really unfortunate. But anyway, the first thing I'm going to mark on Monday is just my husband going to the office. This is a checklist from the kit that I have cut up into pieces. I think I only have 9 things to mark this day, so it's going to be easy. 3, 3, and 3. So he worked from the office. I think this was his last week at his old job before he moved on. So he works on a lot of presentations for work. So I just have Molly Loves Presentations from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then on my end of things, I did a workout at home. So I just have this old workout sticker from Oh Hello Co. I'm not going to use a label for this. I'm just going to put it straight on the planner because it doesn't need anything. And then I was, of course, working this day. So I'm going to pull in one of these pattern boxes. That was lesson plan. A lot of times this semester, I will lesson plan on Mondays. It just makes sense for me this semester. Sometimes I lesson plan Fridays instead. It just kind of depends on what I got going on. So that's the first box of Monday. And then as far as the second box of Monday, I was grading papers. So let's see. Let's use a square box for that, because that takes up a good chunk of my day. So for grading, I've got this from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then I wrote in order supplies, not entirely sure what we ordered this day, but we ordered some stuff. And then My husband's anniversary gift to me came in this day. That was kind of a nice surprise considering how stressful our lives were right at this moment. He got me a cute watch that has cats on it instead of like the different times. So that was cute. Definitely appreciate that. So I guess I'm going to use another pattern box. So yeah, I can now tell all 12 hours of cats. So for ordering supplies, that credit card icon is from Bella Planella. And then for getting my gift from my husband, that is from Oh Hello. And then if we open up this box, we get the last box of Monday. I love like the potions and the flowers on this box. I wrote have a meltdown, sort of. And yeah, that sounds accurate to this day. It was a really stressful situation we were in with our cat and trying to figure out how best to help her. So I wish I didn't have to mark that, but here we are. I'm going to use this black half box from another kit that is from my leftovers because, you know, I'd rather not remember that all this happened, but it did. So this is from Once More with Love for having kind of an emotional meltdown. And then Clover was actually playing this day, which was really nice to see. She was actually getting at least a little bit of her energy back based on, you know, getting some help from different vets, but we still hadn't quite figured out long term how we were going to help her. So that's where the meltdown comes in. But she was acting better this day. She would kind of go in and out of like feeling better and then feeling worse, and that was pretty alarming, not gonna lie. And then the last thing I'm gonna mark this day is just watching Queer Eye on Netflix. So for Clover playing a little bit, this is from Beneva Creations, and then for watching Queer Eye, this is a really old sticker from Scribble Prints Co. So that was Monday, kind of stressed out just because it was like, what are we going to do? And then Tuesday, I went to work. So let's pull, excuse me, let's pull another one of these square boxes for that because that does take up a big chunk of my day. When I say I go to work, this means I'm teaching my classes. So that is Teacher Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then after my classes, I have my office hour. And so I did a training this day. So I'm going to pull this color. It's nice when not only is it an important training, but you can actually get paid for it. That's always appreciated when there's money for that. So that is from Bella Planella. And then when I got home, I did take a nap because I was really tired. I don't always nap when I come home because like I usually get home around like 4, and by that point it's like I really should just stay up so that I can go to bed at a reasonable time and like keep myself on a good sleep schedule. But like sometimes it's just like I need to nap in order to have energy to do the stuff I need to do that evening. So that is also from Bella Planella. And then second half of Tuesday, I'm just going to put this sticker in that says, hello, I am trying my best because, again, we were both quite stressed out about the kitten. And I have this washi left over from an old kit that kind of goes with this kit. So I'm just going to put this on top of a piece of washi. I guess I could have used washi under my workout script, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it. So I was just having a hard time. Oh, I have more things to mark this day than I thought. How is that possible? That I miscounted. I thought I had 6, and it turns out I have 8. So hold on, we gotta make some adjustments. So this is gonna get bumped up all the way up there. This is gonna get bumped up, and then so is the hello, I'm trying my best. I think I made mistakes. Mistakes were made. We're just gonna maybe do a sneaky bit of layering. I don't know. I always joke with my students lately. I'm like, I can't count because I like try to count them off. I think some of them find that funny and some are like, are you serious right now? I don't know about this. Should I cut this? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to cut that and then put it back together so that it actually fits in this space. I might pull in some scripts this week because this works a lot better when you actually have scripts and then it fills in the gap instead of trying to like write over it. Okay, now we've got the top of Tuesday situated. And actually, where did my scripts go? I have these scripts in particular from winter times. Sorry, I could talk all day yesterday, and yet for some reason today, like, I'm having a hard time. Okay. We can finally move on. I'm sorry. So I was really anxious this day. So for that, I have this label on this sheet from a different kit. So I'm trying to mix it up so that, you know, if there are kit leftovers from other kits, it doesn't stand out too much. So I was anxious, and then what happened this night is that I feel like I had come across this clinical trial before, but I assumed that we couldn't be part of it. So we had reached out to a clinical trial at UC Davis, which has been doing a lot of work on the disease that our kitten has, and they've made some really important findings. So we did reach out to them, but they said they weren't enrolling any more cats. And basically, the things going on with our kitten are like they've only very recently made some strides in like, or some breakthroughs really in like treating it. So the only way you can get treatment really is if your kitten or cat is part of a clinical trial. So we had reached out to UC Davis, like I said, but they weren't accepting any new cats at this point. They might in the future, who knows. So then I found this one in Colorado, and I emailed her this night, and I was like, you know what? It's worth a shot. I don't know if she's going to get back to me. I don't know if she's going to say no. I just have to try because, like, I don't really know what other choice I have right now. So I did that. I just happened to find that information, which was amazing, that there was even an option, like that there was even anyone doing any work on this currently. So I am incredibly grateful for that. So that's from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. That's from Once More with Love. So yeah, obviously it would have been great if Davis had been able to accept us, but they're just not in the taking in new patients stage of their study at this point. They pretty much completed at that point. So I did cry again because I was just like relieved to find something that I could contact somebody about, but at the same time I'm like, who knows? Like, who knows if they're actually gonna contact me? So had a good cry, and then watch more Queer Eye. Cry and Queer Eye, cool. That's from Plana Hannah. So that's how Tuesday ended, was me desperately emailing somebody and just wondering what was gonna happen next. All right, so then we move on to Wednesday. Wednesday, I slept in a little bit, and I kind of wish I hadn't, because what happened is I checked my email when I did finally get up and realized that the person I had emailed the night before, so she's a vet, she's a doctor, had emailed me back at like 6 o'clock my time. It was probably like 7 or 8 o'clock her time, and was like, yeah, it sounds like she might be a good candidate. Like, let's talk. And she had emailed me twice because she was like trying to get in touch with me pretty quickly. So that was wild. I was like, whoa, what? So I emailed her back. We were emailing back and forth a little bit, and then she called me because she just kind of wanted to like brief me on the study and then ask me, of course, if I had any questions. She's so lovely. Like, obviously very smart person to have become a veterinarian, but then also just a very nice person too, which like all the vets we've been working with in this whole situation that we're in have been very lovely. But I was like, I'm just contacting somebody out of the blue that I have no idea who they are. Like, who knows what's going to happen. And so I was just really grateful that she was very kind and willing to spend time with me and like answering any questions. And so that is from Paper Shower, because I was just like, what is happening right now? Like, this vet actually got back to me and is saying that like my kitten could participate in her study. We just need to get to Colorado in the next few days, because obviously this is pretty urgent. And yeah, so she didn't realize we weren't in Colorado, and so she was like, she had asked like, oh, can you come in this afternoon? And I was like, no. So here's the thing, I'm a few states away. So is that okay? She's like, that's fine with me. It's just like you have to come in like every 4 weeks during the study to get tests done and things like that. I'm like, I can do that. Like, I will do that. This is a priority. So after we got off the phone, I got on southwest.com and booked a last minute trip to Colorado for the next afternoon. And I accidentally booked a business class seat instead of just like the cheapest seat. So then I had to call Southwest and be like, pretty please, can I get the cheaper seat? And the guy was trying to be funny with me, and I appreciate that, but like, I was not in the mood for this. And he was like, what? You don't want to go? You don't want to fly like first class? I'm like, so this trip's kind of an emergency, so no. And he's like, oh, okay. So he got the message at some point. And then I had to rent a car and book a hotel and all that sort of stuff. So that took over a good chunk of my morning. So that was kind of wild. And then, speaking of people helping me out, I had therapy. I had a therapy appointment scheduled for this day already, which was convenient. I don't think I had met with her for a while. I feel like that's not going to fit. I hadn't met with her for a while just because like her availability was very little. So I had a lot to update her on. So I did that and let her know, yeah, I have a last minute trip to Colorado. Let me explain. And so we talked about a lot of my anxieties relating to that, because that's the main reason I'm in therapy, is that I'm anxious. So, and then, you know, stressful stuff keeps happening to me. So that, you know, just totally helps my anxiety, obviously. So, had therapy. That icon is from Planet Hannah. It was good to talk things out. And then I got back to work, settled down and got some work done, like grading papers. So this is again from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. Sorry that you weren't in the frame. And then after work, I sent my husband, I realized my husband was at the office this day and I didn't mark it, but you know what? It's fine. We don't need to worry about it. Or was he working from home this day? No, he was not working from home this day, because I would have remembered, because I was like on the phone pacing around the house and everything. So he was not home this day. But anyway, he got dispatched to PetSmart after work because we needed some things. We needed a harness. We needed like a harness and leash for the kitten so that when I take her out at airport security, she wouldn't get away from me. That's really important if you weren't aware. Because you can ask for a private screening, but it will take more time. What else did we buy? I think we needed like a shallow cardboard box in order for her to have a litter box. We needed litter tray liners for that box. We needed a bin to put litter in that would fit in a suitcase. We needed, what else did we get? Oh, like potty pads, which in my experience, she didn't use. She was like, I am not going to the bathroom in my, in my carrier. I will not. Like, I feel like that's most cats, unless they're really, really desperate. But it was recommended by articles I was reading to put a potty pad in there just in case, or if she vomited. There's a stupid little hair here and it's bothering me. So yeah, I can't remember what else we got, but yeah, mostly just a lot of things to contain everything in my giant backpacking backpack, and then to contain the cat. And then I really would like to get this hair off of this sticker. There we go. Love that. So for sending my husband to PetSmart, that is a Black Friday sticker from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then I packed my backpacking backpack as my luggage. This was a bit stressful just because the kitten and her carrier counted as my carry-on, so I really had to fit everything in one bag. So that is a Gallifrey, may he rest in peace, sticker packing his bags from Ovoloco. Okay. Hopefully my battery is going to make it through this video. I bought a new battery this year, and I think my camera is just getting old, and so even though I replaced the battery, like, it doesn't matter. All right, so Thursday was the big day. So the first thing I'm going to mark, though, is that my husband, it was his last day at his last job. I guess I didn't mark that as the first thing, though. So actually, I marked first that I went to work, which, you know, makes sense. So I think we're going to just preemptively cut another one of these in half to make it fit a bit better. So I went to work and taught my classes. And then it was his last day at his old job. So I can't remember if he went out this night, actually. He might have. I don't remember. I think no, he didn't go out until the next week. Now I remember. Because we were trying to figure out so many things with the kitten, so he didn't want to leave me alone. And so he moved his going away party a week, which was nice of him. Okay, so we're gonna mark my husband's last day at his job. And, you know, let's use a glitter label. Excuse me. Except I don't have a good size one, so never mind. Not gonna do that. Let's see, what do we have? Starting to run out of things. We're just gonna use this label. And so I'm gonna mark his last day at that job. And then this day is really gonna span like quite late into the day. So the next thing I'm gonna mark, and this didn't happen until like probably like 5 o'clock in the evening, but it was Clover's first flight on an aeroplane. Wild. I never thought I would take a kitten on an airplane. That was never something I intended on doing. It just seemed like a bit stressful and completely unnecessary. But in this case, it was absolutely necessary. So it happened. It happened. So we flew to Colorado after work this day, just me and Clover, because my husband was going to move into our new apartment this weekend, and we didn't really want to like move that. So that's for his last day at his job. This is for Clover's first flight. This is an old sticker from the sticker party. And then, like I mentioned, I had to get a rental car, and I inadvertently booked an electric vehicle, and I have never driven an electric vehicle before, so the people weren't super helpful. Quite frankly, they gave me a different car, but then still I couldn't start that one either. I couldn't figure out how to start the car. So I had a bit of a rental car meltdown, called my husband at like 9 o'clock at night. It was freezing outside. It was like maybe 15 degrees outside. And I was just like, I can't figure it out. So my husband talked me through it, and we figured it out. And then I was able to drive to my hotel. Itty Bitty Sticker Co., sticker party, Itty Bitty Sticker Co. Okay, then the second half of the day, it's quite late at night at this point. I wanted to mark that it was freezing. I felt really bad for putting the kitten through that because I kept having to get out of the car and be like, I don't know how to drive this car. Help me. Anybody. So yeah, both my cats are Southern California girls, and they haven't really been out in like really cold conditions. So I felt bad, but we had to do what we had to do. And then we went to the hotel, and Clover absolutely hated flying. Don't get me wrong. I still would not recommend taking your cat on a plane unless you absolutely have to. But by the time we got to the hotel, she was like, well, this is great. I love this place. I guess we live here now. So it was really cute. So for it being cold, that's an old sticker from Oh Hello Co. For checking into the hotel and Clover really enjoying it. That is from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then I did call my husband. So I'm gonna grab this piece of washi. And then this was the last day of our kitten's antibiotics because they had prescribed them at the vet we went to the last week. I'm just going to use a glitter header for that and then move some of these things down. And they said to keep her on it for a week because they were trying to prevent secondary infections. I don't know how any of that works. That's just what they told me. So that's what I did. I followed their instructions. That looks crooked. So yeah, I think I went to bed probably around midnight. It was quite cold, but they had the heater blasting in the room at like 72 degrees, and I put the kitten up in the bed with me, and she cozied on up. I got a blanket out of the closet. I have no idea where this sticker is from. I just had it as a phone call sticker. And then for finishing her antibiotics, that is from Apple Blossom Prints. So yeah, we cozied up in our hotel room, just the two of us, and went to sleep. And then we had to be up quite early the next morning because her appointment was at 8 in the morning. So now we are at Friday. It was my brother's birthday. I was originally going to use a kit for his birthday. We're going to push that to next year because some weird things happened this year. Okay, this is going to be a long day. So let me take a pause. All right, so Friday was the day that we got help finally. And things started going uphill for us, thank goodness. So the first thing I'm going to mark, though, is that Clover slept in the bed with me all night long. It was very cute. I kept waking up, and she kept waking up, too. I don't really remember why. I think it was just we were in an unfamiliar place. I was talking with my husband about it. I'm like, even if she doesn't get better, like, which she's doing a lot better now, it's just been amazing to, like, have this very odd experience with her. Like traveling with her and all this stuff. So, and so many people want to talk to you when you are traveling with a cat. It is quite weird. You're like, yeah, I'm not traveling with her for fun. This is strictly necessary travel, but thank you for being kind to me. The one that really stood out to me was so at the Denver airport, there is a train that takes you between like where the gates are and where you get like your rental car or you get picked up or whatever the case may be. And this one lady was kind of asking me about like, oh, so were you on vacation and you're coming home? And I'm like, no, we're actually coming here to go to this hospital. And she's like, oh, well, I had a lot of my friends bring their pets there and they've been really happy with their experiences there. So good luck with that. And I really appreciated that. That was like the one that really stood out to me. But yeah, everyone was like so nice to me, which was nice because I was assuming everyone was going to be mean to me because I had a cat and was bringing it on an airplane. But everyone was nice to me who said anything to me. I got a lot of comments about like, wow, your cat's so quiet. And I'm like, yeah, she's terrified. Because like I've heard, like I hear cats in public situations like all the time, like at the vet and stuff, and they're just like meowing up a storm. They're very unhappy. Clover was silent the entire time. She was like, I'm just gonna pretend this is not happening. So anyway, that's from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. It was my brother's birthday this day. And then Nathan was moving up to Sacramento. So those are from Scribble Prints Co. Meanwhile, as he was driving up there, I took Clover to her appointment. Basically, the vet leading the study needed to like examine her, probably I think took blood, drained some of the fluid in her abdomen. I had to sign lots of consent forms, including that she could keep some of that fluid for future research. Very odd, but I was like, yeah, obviously you can do that. Not odd that it didn't make sense. Like it totally made sense to me. It's just that like, it's a very strange thing to have to agree to that. But obviously I was more than happy to do that. And I was there probably for a couple, like maybe an hour and a half. And so while I was there, I did call my husband while he was driving. That's from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. for the appointment. That is a really old icon for calling my husband. And then I was just feeling a great sense of relief by the end of our visit there because she showed me how to give my kitten pills and, you know, explained all of the stuff to me. And it was just a really good feeling to know that we were going to get her the help that she needed. Obviously, like with any treatment for anything, there's never a 100% guarantee that it's totally going to work. I am recording this on November 24th, and she has a ton more energy than she used to, and she's eating really well, and her belly has gone back to normal. And so I'm hopeful. We are actually, as of this filming, we're going to be going back to Colorado this weekend for her first checkup. So hopefully her blood work is good because like that's going to be the really telling sign. So I have this You Are Amazing sticker from Papershire, and that's for my sense of relief. And then it was time to make the long journey home. I was sitting at the hospital and like the waiting area for me was right near the oncology ward for dogs. And so there's all these like happy dogs around and they're really cute, but they're all there for cancer treatment. So it's like kind of sad, but like they're just like, yeah, it's cool. Meanwhile, all the cats are in their carriers like, I don't want to be here. But yeah, so it was quite an experience. But it was a really good experience to like get the help that we need. Then I drove back to the airport. There were not one but two car crashes. That was not fun. So yeah, I was worried. I was like, oh no, am I not going to get back to the airport on time? It was fine. It's just, I think it was like a chain reaction situation where like there was the one crash and then people were paying too much attention to that and got into a secondary crash. I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling that might be what happened. So this is Grumpy Molly for that. And then we flew home. So basically Clover's coping with the flight is that when takeoff is really bad. Really doesn't like that. Tries to claw her way out of the carrier. Got to make sure that the carrier is securely fastened everywhere because she was like thrashing about. But once we stabilized in the air, like she just kind of laid down and was like, okay, fine. The nerve-wracking part is that like when she's under the seat, like if you don't know this, if you bring a cat on an air carrier or a dog on an airplane, it has to go under the seat. It's your carry-on bag. So I can't see her though in her current carrier. So it's a little nerve-wracking. So anyway, for the flight, that is from the sticker party. And then I gave her her first pill on my own this evening. It's a little tricky. It was a learning curve for sure. That's always make things look super easy because obviously they know what they're doing. They've done it a million times before. And then you go and try to do it and you're like, ah, crap. So it took an adjustment period, but now I can actually do it really well. Bribery helps. Churro wet treats are pretty much every cat's favorite thing. So I use those to my advantage, and now we've built a rapport, and she will swallow her pills. So for giving her the first pill on my own, that is also from Apple Blossom Prince. And then let's do this extender. So I FaceTimed my husband that evening because he wasn't home. He was at our new apartment. So we talked about my saga, and then I made myself a drink this night because, yeah, I was like, I need a drink. So I made a Negroni, which this year has become something I've discovered I enjoy. So for that, let's use this. Hopefully the sticker I'm going to pull will cover this. We shall see. I think it should work. Before I put that in though, I'm gonna mark watching more Queer Eye. So let's do this color. I'm gonna use another glitter header because that's all I got. And for things like television, I can write pretty small. Whoops. And then the last thing I'm gonna mark this day is that Clover had a ton of energy. I think it really helped getting some of the fluid drained in her belly. So I think that's part of the reason that the vet drained some of the fluid. The other reason was to collect a sample for testing and research and all of that. But once she got that fluid drained, she had a lot more energy. So that was really good to see. I think she was also just really happy to be home. So yeah, it was definitely good to see her bouncing around. Not, you know, a ton, but enough that it was a marked difference from how she was acting in the weeks prior. So for making myself a drink, I have this bar crawl icon from Cinderella Paper. For watching Queer Eye, I have this from Plana Hannah. And then for Clover having energy, this is from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. So that was Friday, a very long day, especially because Colorado and California are not in the same time zone. But it was a good day. It was a very good day, and that's why the cat is on this day. Okay, Saturday. So I give my cat a pill every 12 hours, but for this week, I'm just gonna mark it once. In subsequent weeks, you'll see me mark it as a habit tracker. So this is from Oh Hey Cat Buns. This is just gonna mark giving Clover her pills this day. And then I filmed a haul. Oops, something fell over there. I filmed a sticker haul. I think this is the one where towards the end I was like, yeah, I don't really know what's gonna happen. Sorry, I'm being vague, but I don't really know what's gonna happen. Sorry about that. So this is from Bella Planella. And then my husband drove home this day, so he was home. That was good. So I'm gonna use a half box for that. And then I did a little bit of work this day because, as you can probably tell, I did not get any work done on Friday. I thought I was gonna bring my laptop, but then it wouldn't fit in my luggage. And so I left it at home. So I had to work a bit on Saturday to make up for it. So for that, let's see. Let's use this color. I think this sticker should cover it up. We'll see. So yeah, at this point, just learning how to give my kitten medication, watched some videos when I was struggling. Kitten Lady has become a very helpful resource for me. Although her cat just kind of takes the pill no problem. There's a little bit of script peeking out there, but I could color it in if I cared that much. That's from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. Second half of the day, 1989 Taylor's version got released the day before, so I finally listened to it this day. And I'm into it. The vault tracks are probably my favorite from any of her re-releases. So that was fun to hear, because some of the vault tracks from other previous albums that she's re-released, I'm kind of like, they're fine. Like, not bad. It's just like, I didn't really need them. I'm trying to find something to mark this with that actually will fit. So yeah, I listened to all of 1989, including the vault tracks, and pretty much all the vault tracks I like from that album. So that Spotify Heart is from Bella Planella. And then, so part of the study, they're not necessarily testing whether or not the specific medication works, because they know that works. It's just not approved, unfortunately. She gets daily medication, excuse me. But then once a week, I have to give her a syringe medication of like a immunostimulant. So I do that every Saturday. So it's just a liquid. So we either have the actual immunotherapy or we have a placebo. That's what they're testing. So it's not an injection, but that is a vaccination sticker from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then my husband and I went on a date because he was home and we were at kind of a point where things were not so much of a crisis anymore. So that was nice. So before I put that in though, I'm going to put in another glitter header. So we went on a date because I think the week before we were just so, or I'll speak for myself, I was having such a hard time that I think we just got takeout. Oh yeah, that was where I wasn't even really hungry. I was having a really hard time. So we just got like takeout acai bowls. So this was our first time like going out since everything got really bad. And it felt like at this point that we had lived like a month of this, but we had only been living this for like 2 weeks max. So it felt like a very long time. It felt like we've been dealing with this forever. Am I not even in frame? Oh no, I am. So for going out on a date night, we went to a place that serves beer, but also excellent food. So that is from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then we watched the latest episode of Great British Bake Off because we couldn't watch it the night before because my husband wasn't home. So that's from Planet Hannah. And then finally we have Sunday, of course. So I'm going to once again mark my cat's medication with this label from Oh Hey Cat Buns. And then we were both cuddling the Clover cat because, you know, she's a cutie. So I'm gonna have to do this like this. I'm gonna mark a little bit of work eventually. So there's that. And then I might actually cut this. I'll cut that box. And then instead I'm gonna put in this for cuddling the Clover. And yeah, this is gonna get trimmed just a tad. Okay, so for Clover, that is from, messed it up. Well, yeah, let's just do that because no. Dang it, Jessica. Luckily that came up pretty nicely. We're gonna put that over there and then I'm gonna pull up this box because it should have gone on the opposite side. I was editing one of my Plan With Me's the other day and I realized I put stickers on the same side Oh yeah, it was just the one before this, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, it's not a big deal, but like sometimes you're just like, that's not what I meant to do. So anyway, I did a little bit of work, a little bit of grading. So that is from Anybody Sticker Co. And then we met up with some friends this day, which was much needed. We hadn't told them what was going on yet, so it was good to see them and kind of fill them in on what happened. So we met up at a coffee shop. They just happened to be, well, they wanted to meet up with us originally because my husband's moving. So they wanted to see us before my husband moved. But then it turned into, you know how anything turns into that, where it's like you're just kind of venting what went wrong. Where did we go wrong? And then we went to a shop that opened up that's new. So that's exciting. She mainly makes candles, but she also sells a lot of snack type stuff, so that's cute. But I'll use this candle sticker from Scribble Prints Co. because I don't use candles, so it just made more sense to do that. And then what's the last thing I'm gonna mark? I think the last thing I'm gonna mark is planning our next visit to Colorado, because that's important. So for that, I think I'm gonna cut up, no, I'm going to, let's see. Those colors don't work for that. I'm just going to use this label and hope that the sticker fits over it. Let's see. Or I do have a couple pieces of washi in that color that could just be stuck together, and that'll work. Okay, yeah, that's a better choice. I basically just pulled any shade of blue that I had and hoped it worked together, and I think it's gonna work. So that's from Bella Planella. And that is this week. So I just have a couple of glitter headers left. I'm like, what do I do with these now? It's just like 2 random glitter headers. So let's go ahead and zoom out though. All right, so that is everything before the pen of this very strange but ultimately good week in my life. The only things left from the mini kit are these 2 full boxes and these 2 glitter headers. I used up literally everything else plus some. So I quickly pulling apart this whole kit. So I'm gonna go ahead and write everything in and then say goodbye. All right, I did make a couple changes at the top of Monday just because I forgot that I wanted to mark playing with my EEB cat. She deserves some attention here for sure. But that's everything written in. This was a wild week. I cannot believe some of the things that happened this week. I was just so relieved that we were able to get our kitten into some form of treatment that will help her. And that seems to be going well so far. So hopefully things continue to go well. Very grateful to all the people working on this situation, that they are working hard and doing their best to save these cats' lives. So that's going to be all for now. That is going to finally close out the section of our October, or the October section of my planner. So next week, of course, we'll get into Halloween. And thank you so much for listening and watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.